Hey, what up, ladies and gents? It is your favorite Asian robot right here, and today I am in my hoodie because it is really cold. So, this is me today. All right, enjoy the balloonness. Now, people have been asking me past few days, can I please show them a Tempest or my most broken best Chainblade build? When it comes to chain blades, there's one that I favor over all others. It's a bit of a weird build, and it's going to change after the current Gauntlet season ends. So once the cells from the current season end and go into general rotation, there is a new form of this build, which I will build and demonstrate. But for now, the older version still works just fine, and it's pretty awesome. So what was the idea behind this older version? It is currently one of the most popular vids on my main channel, although my main channel no longer deals with Dauntless. But the vid is still there, and it accumulated more than 50,000 views. The reason for this was the nature of the build, in which you could basically dish out plenty of damage and then just get off scot-free. There are two forms to this build, which I will demonstrate both to you, so that you guys can understand better. All right, but I'm going to show you which version I prefer and which version I recommend people use. Okay, so the first version, now I'm gonna go through this one in a slightly different way, because for this one, the armor and the weapons don't the armor and the Omnicell and Lantern don't change, but the weapon is what changes. All right, so the variation is based on the weapon. So you've got your Tempest Omnicell, Shrike Zeal with a Molten Cell, Skullforge with Parasitic, Scrapewing Jacket with Adrenaline Cell, Fiery Gauntlets with a Recycle Cell, and Phalanx's Heat Sinks with Invigorated. This build is now changed, rather altered, to accommodate for the Recycle Cell. But I'm going to show you a slight variation, which is kind of important that you guys also need to know about. All right, now there are two variants to this build. The first variant relies a bit more on Tempest, where you will have Invigorated and Sprinter in your Death Blossoms, okay? Reaper's Dance, Hurricane Blade mod, these two are the same. The bond will be the Koshai's, Sovereign's Lash. Basically, you will wait after you've accumulated enough movement speed bonus, like for example 5 stacks of Tempest, and you're ready to unleash hell on your opponents. You will basically wait for the Koshai bonus to come in, and then you will dish out a Tempest hit with bonus damage. The alternative to this method is to use Malkurion's Electric Cruelties and bond it to Savate. The weapon cells will be different though. They will be Invigorated, all right? And then you will have another Recycle cell here. Okay, this version is less reliant on Tempest for dealing damage, and even with Pulse +3 you can guarantee a crit, meaning your Tempest will deal 1.5 times damage, all right? But this one is more focused on using the blades for damage, and it also has less survival, because the first variation has the Agarus as the weapon, which means that your legendary ability is to self-revive and revive your team. If you use Malkurion, you can dish out more damage thanks to the Savate bond, as well as the UE of the Savate, but you have less survival, because in this entire build, your only survival cell is Parasitic. Okay, let me explain the perks now, and I'll be demonstrating using the Malkurion version instead. Please be aware that you will... Now, I don't play Dauntless actively anymore, so my combat skill has gone down, but at the same time, I guess it's a great way of showing how the average player would play the game, assuming that you're not a hyper pro. And I've certainly long stopped being a hyper pro, because I no longer even actively play this game. I just continue to make videos for the fans, because I'm not leaving you guys in the hands of, you know, liars, thieves, basically hateful people, racists. No, I am not that sort of person that would leave you to that. So I may not be the best, but you know, hopefully this can help. All right. In terms of perks, one thing you need to understand about this build is that we combine Invigorated with Adrenaline and Endurance, Why? Because you will naturally need to sap your stamina to get the best benefit out of Invigorated, giving you huge bonus movement speed, which in turn allows you to trigger a lot of Tempest power. But the other thing is that it also gives you bonus damage from Adrenaline and Endurance. So using the Skullforge technique, you will basically set a stamina level for yourself and then start attacking. This makes it very easy to maintain Adrenaline while being able to basically Blade Spin forever if you need to. Molten keeps you immune to fire, which is your greatest danger with this build, and also increases your attack and movement speed, which is great for packing even more damage into Tempest. Your Shrike's Zeal Lantern will help you even further with that, giving you more attack speed, more Tempest damage, and of course you've got Fleet-Footed. Just by dodging, you gain 20% movement speed. It's actually a hyper useful cell that can dish out plenty of damage. Especially when you combine it with Tempest. However, the main point here is that dodging will also chain with your Savate's UE in this particular variation. So the Koshai's variation is more relax, just dodge for the Tempest. This variation is more active combat, which is why I prefer this one. This is also the version that you would have seen in the 50k view video. Now, as I mentioned, Pulse is only kept at +3 because you're not really going for the bonus. You can still get a guaranteed crit. It just takes 8 hits to stack up. So just count your hits and watch the buff icon. And Parasitic is your only sustain. So if you die, you die. All right? Just remember that. This is not the kind of build where you just do whatever you want and you are going to succeed. All right? It does take a bit of preparation and understanding. So what I'm going to show you right now is, have I already flipped my coin? Yes, I have. We'll go into the Blaze Works where I can demonstrate how this build works and how you can play this build and use it for basically any content, as always with all my builds. But like I said, there's a specific method to playing this and it does require a bit of knowledge and practice. All right? But hey, listen, if I can use this despite, focusing 90% of my time on other games and being completely out of practice with Dauntless, I think you guys can do the same thing too. So let me teach you the ins and outs of this build. Now, like I said, this is the more dangerous version. There is no sustain in this build. If you die, you die, okay? You have to accept that. I'll probably die like 15 billion times, but that's okay. Okay, so we go toward the Ember Main. Why? Because if you're on Blazeworks, fighting the Scorchstone Hellion or the Bloodshot Shroud is a waste of your time, TDK wise, yeah? So with this build, what you'll do is you'll go around, you do your usual thing, yeah? Okay, knock down the creature, set your stamina level, and then go ham. As you can see, your stamina will not decrease at all. Why? Because you have that Skullforge to ensure that no matter what, you're all good. As you can see, no problem. Okay. And then once I'm ready, I will usually try and stack up my pulse so that it will guarantee a crit, and then I will attack with Tempest. If I do take a hit, I do take a hit, but I obviously try not to most of the time. All right, this is very wasteful to do so. But thanks to the fast attack speed, even with just Parasitic, it is possible to stack your hit points up. All right, just be a bit careful because it's not always an ideal situation. All right, there are also Aether Vents to help you out with all this kind of shenanigans. Just be sure to keep collecting your Molten buffs, all right, because they are an absolute necessity. Oop, there we are. Like I said, don't mind it too much if you do end up taking hits, all right? That's part and parcel of the whole process. Unless you really, really want to play perfectly all the time, which you can with this, but I mean, I just can't be arsed. you shouldn't take too many hits, is I guess my message here. I thought it was gonna come charging in, but alright, guess not. The bonus movement speed, I have to admit, is great though. There you go. So it's all done. Now, as you can see, there is no sustain in here. You can use, like, I guess if you don't really want the Shrike Zeal Lantern and you want to include more self-sustain, you can go with the Koshai's Lantern or Skarn's Defiance, whatever way you want. You know, you can freely customize that as long as you put in a Molten Cell. And of course, this build also doesn't require any tonics, nothing special like that. You just go in, plug, play, and you're good to go. Of course, your kill time would be better if you were to use something like Catalyst, but again, it's not a necessity. It is genuinely your choice whether you want to use it or not. The key thing to this whole build is set your stamina level, go in, spin as much as you like, and in between that, you know, you can use Tempest for some hard-hitting damage. It works great in pretty much any environment. And of course, once we get the Impulse and Inertia cells in the general cell pool, this will be altered so that it can dish out even more impressive damage, which I hope you guys will enjoy. So yeah, I look forward to that. And other than that, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is still, to this very date, my most OP Chainblade builds and the most powerful ones that I still love using because they're just so fun. You know, you've got the massive attack speed, you've got massive damage. You know, what else do you need, right? Alright, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Y'all have a good day now. Bye-bye.